Welcome to our weekly program, The Inside Story of Chabad in America through the Mindel Archives. Today is Chov Sivan. In the Jewish history, the month of Sivan, and especially on Chov Sivan, many tragedies happened. And many people have a custom, have a minhag, to fast on Chov Sivan. It says in Sfarim that I think the Rabbeinu Tam, he declared a tainis, and there should be a Chov Sivan. The Gzeira, the decree of Tachvatat, began. This is in the year 1648 in Sivan. The city of Tsur was captured in Sivan, and thousands of Yidden were deported to Auschwitz starting the month of Sivan. And it says in Sfarim that at Sivan, Eis Tzora Hil Yankev, Nishpach Dam Yisrael Kamayim. The blood of the Yidden was spilled like water. Also, we know that the beginning of Tisha B'Av, meaning the started from the Meraglim, because they went 40 days before, they left to Eretz Yisrael. They left on Chov Tes Sivan. So Sivan is a month of tragedies. The Frierdiker Rebbe was taken to prison. I think it was the 50th. I think it was also in Sivan. So, anyways, a lot of people fast on Sivan. Pogroms in Germany, in France, and riots, and therefore, every Shabbos Mevorchim, when you bless the month, we say before Musaf of Arachamim. We don't say of Arachamim, but in the month of Sivan, we do say of Arachamim to remember the Gdoshim, the tragedies that happened in Sivan. So, in connection with this, with the more recent tragedy, the Holocaust, so I want to share with you the well-known march of rabbis, which I found in my father-in-law's archives, that he wrote. He said, and also I found some written documents there about the March of 500, which we'll explain soon, and also pictures that he took. Now, I don't know who wrote it, but I can tell you what it says there. First of all, in 1943, a march of 500 rabbis went to Washington on behalf of the Jews in Europe. The Frierdiker Rebbe called over 4 people. I don't know if it's known. He called over Reb Elio Quint. Reb Elio Quint. Some people have letters that he signs b'shem of the Rebbe also. This is a program by itself about Rav Quint, how he got to 770, and with the connection with the Rebbe, that we'll have to use another program. But he's one of the people that the Rebbe sent then as a delegate, the Frierdiker Rebbe sent in 43 a delegate to go to Washington. Also Rabbi Zalman Gurari, the Rebbe sent. Also Rabbi Binyamin Levitin, who was the son of Rabbi Shmuel Levitin, and also Rabbi Nissen Mindel. These 4 people the Rebbe sent then, in the Frierdiker Rebbe, as a delegate to go to Washington. And Rabbi Mindel took pictures then of that. Now I want to read to you the report inside what I found. A gathering of 500 rabbis took place, Orthodox rabbis, took place in Washington, D.C., in front of the Capitol in October 1943. This protest alerted Americans to awareness of the Holocaust helping Jews in Europe. They marched from Union Station to the Lincoln Memorial. While marching, people were crying. This is the middle of the Holocaust. The marches were led by Rabbanim. One of the great Rabbanim was Harav Lazer Silver. Lazer Silver was, I think, from the Miatzis Gedolei HaTorah. He lived in Cincinnati. And by the way, there's a lot of letters between him and the Frierdiker Rebbe and the Rebbe, and very important letters. So he was the head of this, one of the heads of this march. Also, Rabbi Sholom Rosenberg, he was the head of the Agudas HaRabbonim. And the Buyana Rebbe, we know the connection between the Buyana Rebbe and the Rebbe. His name was Mordechai Shlomo Friedman. And Bernard Leventhal. This was from the older Rabbonim. Then they were from the younger Rabbonim, were Harav Kamenetsky, he was there young, and the Bostoner Rebbe. The march was 3 days, it says here, before Yom Kippur. They marched till the White House and were met by the president, by the Vice President Henry Wallace and Speaker of the House Sam Radenburn and other members of Congress. And there, Rabbi Lazer Silver read the group's petition to President Roosevelt. And this is what Rabbi Silver said. Children, infants, and elderly men and women are crying to us, help, help. Millions have already fallen dead, sentenced to fire and sword, and tens of thousands have died of starvation. And how can we stand up to pray on the holy day Yom Kippur, knowing that we haven't fulfilled our responsibility? So we have come broken-hearted on Erev Yom Kippur, the eve of the holiest day, to ask you, our honorable President Franklin Roosevelt, to form a special agency to rescue the remainder of the Jewish nation in Europe. This is what Rabbi Silver said. To continue, the protest walked to Lincoln Memorial, prayed for the welfare of the president and American soldiers abroad, and also the Jews in Hitler's Europe. There was also the Melitzer Rebbe. I think we'll show the Melitzer Rebbe was also there. He's the one who said to him, he said, Kekel Molerachmim. Now, this is the shocking thing that happened. When the 500 rabbis came to the White House, they were stunned to be told that the president was not available to meet them, to meet the delegates. What the rabbis did not know, and they underlined did not know, that the president's top Jewish advisors, his speechwriter, and prominent American Jewish committee members, Samuel Roseman and also Stephen Wise, had told the president to avoid the rabbis by leaving the White House through a rear exit, so they shouldn't be able to see the way the president leaves. They told him to leave. Embarrassed by the protesters and fearing that the march might provoke anti-Semitism, they did not want the president giving the rabbis any attention. The rabbis were very disappointed. The fact that they were Jewish advisors telling the president not to meet with them. Weiss, one of the people that told the president, he was a Reformed Jew, was very close to the president, and he made it seem to the president as the demonstration was not important. So the president does not have to pay attention. That was the tragedy of that day. So Rabbi Silver said, the president failed our cause. He failed also to bring refugees to the United States, didn't do anything to protect the Jewish people. Months later, I don't know how it came months later, this was in the month of Sivan, I don't know if it was Chof Sivan, Rabbi Silver wrote in Sivan, even though the president didn't help, but this protest saved many Jews through the protest, about 200,000 Jews, as was told later in years, and he told it later in years. So this is what he wrote down. Even though it didn't help, but the Rebbe helped 200,000 through the process, I don't know how. And this is the article that I found in the archives. Now, it's very painful, but it's not surprising because many times these are called self-hating Jews that they do. This happened with the Frierdiker Rebbe, also with Jews. The Alter Rebbe was Jews. Now, Rabbi Lezer Silver wrote to the Frierdiker Rebbe everything that happened. So the Frierdiker Rebbe said, and this is the word, we should never forget what happened at the Holocaust. And therefore, today, Chof Sivan, I am doing this article because the Frierdiker Rebbe said that this thing should always be remembered. Baruch Hashem, today we live in a time, thank God, a big miracle that we have a president like Trump, which is a big Oyev Yisrael, and we should never forget what happened at the Holocaust. And the Rebbe zal helfen that we should have only no more tragedies, and all the magefes, all the viruses should be bottled, and everybody should have a refuah shlema. And since we're getting closer to the month of Tammuz, the month of Chodesh HaGeula, a Chodesh of redemption, so the Rebbe should help that from this Chodesh HaGeula we should go to the big Geula, Ayidei Mashiach Tzidkenu, through Mashiach Tzidkenu, speedily in our days. Thank you.